Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Boost English Skill podcast.
Your daily English boost. It's really nice to be here with you all today.
It is. Hello, John. I feel like we have a very interesting topic to unpack together.
I think you're right. Hello, Luna. It's a topic I hear about all the time lately.
For our wonderful listeners who are new here, I'm Luna.
And I'm John. We're friends who love to have calm conversations to help you get used to natural spoken English.
Today, we're going to talk about something happening in the world of work. Our episode is called Why Many Gen Z Avoid Office Jobs.
That's right. And we've marked this as a B1 or B1 level conversation.
So we'll use clear, everyday language and tell simple stories. But if you're a strong beginner, please don't worry.
Absolutely not. Just relax and listen. Think of it like listening to a conversation in a cafe. You'll pick up more than you think.
And if you enjoy our chats, please help us by liking this episode and subscribing to the Boost English Skill podcast.
It means the world to us, and it helps other learners find this cozy space. So, Gen Z and office jobs. Luna, where should we even start?
I think we should start with a simple observation. The classic office job from 9 to 5 in a building, it doesn't seem to be the dream anymore for many young people.
It really doesn't. When I was younger, that was often the goal. A stable job in a nice office. But for Gen Z, that's not the attraction.
So what's different? I think the first thing is values. Gen Z seems to value different things at work.
Like what? What do they value more?
From what I see and read, they value flexibility more than stability. They value purpose more than just a paycheck, and they value their mental health very, very highly.
Those are big shifts. Flexibility over stability. That's a trade-off older generations often didn't make.
Right. A stable office job often means a fixed schedule, a fixed location, but Gen Z grew up with the internet. They know work can happen from anywhere.
So the idea of being tied to a desk from 9 to 5 feels unnecessary, maybe even a little old-fashioned.
It can feel like a lack of trust. If you can't see me at my desk, you think I'm not working. That doesn't feel good.
That's a good point. It's about autonomy. The desire to be trusted to manage your own time and get the work done.
Yes, and that connects directly to mental health. A rigid schedule with a long commute can be very draining. It leaves little time for rest, for hobbies, for life.
Gen Z is very open about mental health. They talk about burnout, about anxiety. They saw their parents work very hard, maybe get burned out, and they're saying, I want a different path.
They are setting boundaries earlier. They're asking, what is the cost of this job to my well-being?
And if the cost seems too high, they will look for another option. That's a powerful change.
It really is. Let's talk about purpose. You mentioned that.
Yes, many Gen Z people want their work to have meaning. They want to feel like they are contributing to something good or at least not harming the world.
And a lot of traditional office jobs can feel abstract. You're moving numbers on a spreadsheet or you're in a middle management role. The connection to a clear, positive outcome can be weak.
So they feel disconnected. They ask, what is the point of my work? And if there's no good answer, they lose motivation.
Exactly. This generation has access to so much information. They see global problems very clearly. They want to help solve them, or at least not make them worse.
So a job that feels meaningless, or worse, harmful to society or the environment, is a job they will avoid.
That's a big reason to look elsewhere. You know, this is also interesting English listening practice. We're using words like flexibility, purpose, well-being. These are super useful words for talking about your own career.
They really are. You might need them in a job interview or just talking with friends about life. Okay, another huge factor, technology.
Oh, absolutely. Gen Z are true digital natives. They were born with smartphones and social media.
And that technology created new kinds of jobs that didn't exist before. Jobs you definitely don't do in a traditional office.
like being a content creator, a social media manager, a freelance programmer, an online teacher.
These jobs offer that flexibility and often a direct connection to an audience or a result. You see the impact of your work more quickly.
And you can build a personal brand. You're not just an employee number. You are your own business. That's very attractive.
It is. It feels like more control over your own destiny. Even if it's less stable, it's yours.
The office model can feel impersonal. You're a small part of a big machine, but online, you can be the whole machine yourself or part of a small, flexible team.
That sense of ownership is powerful. Let's not forget the economic reality, too. This generation saw things like the 2008 financial crisis and now high costs for housing and education.
Right. The old promise was work hard in an office job, get promoted, buy a house, have a stable life. That promise feels broken to many of them.
So if the traditional path doesn't lead to security anymore, why follow it? You might as well try something that gives you freedom and flexibility, since the big prize at the end is not guaranteed anyway.
That's a very practical and maybe a little sad way to look at it. The reward system changed.
It did, and when the reward changes, people change their behavior. It's logical.
You know, I'm thinking about the social aspect of an office. Older generations often found community at work. Their friends were coworkers.
That's true, but for Gen Z, community is often online. Their closest friends might live in another country. They don't need an office to have a social life.
In fact, forced office socializing can feel draining. Happy hour with coworkers might feel like more work, not fun.
The mandatory fun. Yes, I felt that way too. If your real community is elsewhere, the office can feel like a place you perform, not a place you connect.
That's a great way to put it. A place of performance. And performing for 8 hours a day is exhausting.
So they prefer to work from home or a cafe and then connect with their real community online on their own terms. It's a different model of social life.
It really is. Let's talk about hierarchy. Traditional offices have a lot of hierarchy. Bosses, managers, supervisors.
And Gen Z often values flat structures. They like collaboration, not top-down commands. They grew up on the internet where everyone can have a voice.
So a very hierarchical office can feel disrespectful. It can feel slow. Why do I need 5 approvals to do this simple thing?
They want to be heard and they want their ideas to matter quickly. In a slow hierarchical system, that doesn't always happen.
Frustration builds and they have options to leave. That's key. They feel they have options.
The gig economy, freelancing, remote work for companies in other countries, the options exploded. You're not trapped in your hometown's job market anymore.
That's a global mindset. Your job can be anywhere, so why choose one that doesn't fit your values? Listeners, I'm curious about your perspective. Do you work in an office? Do you want to? Let us know in the comments what you think about this shift.
We love hearing from you. It makes our community stronger. So we have values, technology, economics, social life. What about the actual design of offices, the physical space?
The cubicle, the open plan office, neither seems very popular.
The cubicle feels isolating. The open plan office feels distracting and noisy. You can't win.
It's true. Many people find it hard to focus in a loud, open space. And if you're an introvert, it can be really draining to be on all day with people around you.
So working from home gives you control over your environment. You could have quiet or music or whatever helps you focus best. That's a big productivity and well-being boost.
It is. And companies are slowly realizing this, but many are still trying to force people back to the office. And that's causing a lot of this avoidance we're talking about.
The great resistance. If you've experienced the freedom of working from home, going back to a long commute in a noisy office feels like a big step backwards.
A loss of quality of life, and people will fight to protect their quality of life.
They will. And Gen Z is entering the workforce with this expectation of flexibility. It's not a bonus to them, it's a requirement.
That's a powerful shift in power from the employer to the employee, at least for skilled workers.
It is. So, is this all good? Are there any downsides to avoiding the traditional office path?
I think there are trade-offs. The obvious one is stability and benefits. Freelancing or content creation can have very unstable income.
No company health insurance, no paid vacation days, no retirement plan from your employer. You have to manage all of that yourself.
That's a lot of stress and responsibility. The freedom is wonderful, but it comes with a price. You're running a small business, and that's hard work.
The other downside is loneliness. Even if your community is online, working alone every day can be isolating for some people. The office does provide casual human connection.
That's true. You miss the water cooler chats, the spontaneous ideas that come from talking in person. Some people really thrive on that office energy.
And there's learning. In an office, especially early in your career, you learn a lot by watching experienced people. You absorb the culture of a profession.
That mentorship can be harder to find when you're working remotely or on your own. You have to seek it out actively.
So it's not that one way is perfect and the other is bad. It's about what fits your personality, your stage in life, and your goals.
Exactly. Gen Z is choosing a different fit. They are prioritizing flexibility, purpose, and mental health, and accepting the trade-offs that come with that choice.
And that choice is forcing companies to change, to offer more flexibility, to talk about purpose, to care about employee well-being. In a way, Gen Z is improving work for everyone.
That's a hopeful way to see it. They're demanding better work culture, and because they have options, companies have to listen.
It's a negotiation. The new generation is setting new terms. I find that exciting.
Me too. It's also interesting to think about this for English learners. Many of you might be looking for remote work that uses English or building an online business.
The skills you're building by listening to this, understanding conversations, picking up vocabulary, are directly useful for that global online work world.
They really are. You're preparing for the new economy just by practicing. Okay, we've covered a lot, but I want to talk about one more thing: the search for authenticity.
Authenticity? At work?
Yes, Gen Z really values being their true self. They don't like the idea of a work persona and a home persona. They want to be one person.
And a traditional office often requires a kind of performance. You dress a certain way, you speak a certain way, you hide parts of your personality.
Right, that feels inauthentic. It's exhausting to perform all day. Working remotely or for yourself allows you to be more you. You can wear comfortable clothes, have your pet nearby, take breaks when you need.
That integration of life and work feels healthier to them. Not work-life balance, but work-life integration. It's all just life.
That's a beautiful phrase, work-life integration. The office job often forces a very strict separation, which can feel artificial.
It can. So this avoidance is really a search for a more authentic, integrated, and humane way to live and work. When you put it that way, it's hard to argue with.
It is. It's a profound cultural shift, and it's happening right now.
It makes me wonder what offices will look like in 20 years. Maybe they'll just be for occasional meetings and team gatherings, not for everyday work.
Maybe. Or maybe they'll be redesigned completely to be places people actually want to go to for collaboration and connection, not because they have to.
That would be a positive outcome. Designing work around human needs, not just old traditions.
I think that's a perfect note to start wrapping up on. This has been such a fascinating chat, John.
It really has. I feel like I understand my younger cousins a lot better now.
Me too. So, to our wonderful listeners, thank you for thinking about this with us. We know your time is valuable.
If this conversation sparked some thoughts for you, please let us know. Liking and subscribing to the Boost English Skill podcast helps us so much.
And if you have personal experience with this, maybe you're Gen Z or you manage Gen Z, we'd love to hear your story in the comments.
From both of us, thank you for listening. Whatever your work path, we hope it brings you meaning and joy.
Take good care, and we'll talk with you again soon.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye for now. And remember, your daily English boost is always here.